The Christmas story, as it appears in two different versions in the Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of Luke, has now been told for thousands of years. At the time of its original telling, several decades had passed since the life of Jesus of Nazareth and the time of his disciples. Its audience was a young, uncertain, but vital and growing religious movement, extending beyond the boundaries of Judaism from which it arose to become a religion of the Greek and Roman world. But it was still subject to terrible bouts of violence and persecution by that society, and it was still viewed with suspicion and disdain by most people. And so the gospel writers told the Christmas story not as historians, but as a means of communicating what to them was urgent and true at the heart of this new religion. The Christmas story is fundamentally a story from the perspective of these early Christians about who Jesus was and why he mattered. It's a story about their hopes and their dreams as embodied in the figure of the newborn babe. And the story is told and retold in part because so many of those hopes and dreams touch the common heart of humanity. They capture a longing for love and peace and innocence that we all share. As we come to the conclusion of the story, what are the themes, the images, and the symbols that resonate? There's the baby cradled in his mother's arms, innocent and adored, peaceful and unafraid. So were our own children on the miraculous night they were born. So once were we. In the religious tradition of Unitarian Universalism, we say that each night a child is born is a holy night. We say that each one of us walks the earth wrapped in holiness, borne aloft on the blessings of our ancestors, and carrying with us the promise of mystery. Have we forgotten that there is starlight and mystery in our veins? There's the manger where the baby was born, showing that greatness can come from the most humble of circumstances, that the brilliance of the human spirit can shine in the most unlikely of places, that we can all be the light, that a babe born to ordinary parents, to an ordinary life, can change the world. Have we ever thought, who am I to change the world? There are the three wise men paying homage, bringing tribute, bowing before the child who will one day be a great teacher of love, justice, mercy, and peace. The teachings of Jesus of Nazareth represented a complete inversion of the value system of the Roman world. The values of that world, the values the Romans worshipped, power, wealth, prestige, all of these Jesus rejected in favor of love. The kingdom of heaven he preached was also a kingdom of inversion, where the last shall be first and the meek shall inherit. In the teaching of Jesus, it is love ultimately that deserves our allegiance. And have we put our trust in love? There's the mad tyrant Herod, raging and plotting as despots and systems of despotism always move to preserve their own power, to uphold the status quo. And are we prepared to keep our own wits and our courage about us when tyrants rage and threaten, when the forces of the status quo to move to bring us back into line, and the voice of common sense says, why rock the boat? The world is dangerous enough. And finally, there's the star in the sky, the firmament itself, saying, take heed, something is happening. Forget what you know, the order of things is changing. And there are signs in our own day, in our oceans, in our atmosphere, that the earth itself is crying out, saying, take heed. Forget what you know. The order of things is changing. The innocent babe who became Jesus of Nazareth was born into a troubled world. Our world is no less troubled today. It has ever been so. And the message of Jesus is urgently needed today. To uphold the worth of all people, to welcome the stranger, to welcome the refugee, to free the prisoner, to cast one's lot with the poor and oppressed, and to return hate with love. Not a passive, retreating love, but an insistent, creative, courageous, challenging love, a transformative love. That is the love that Jesus preached. That is the love he exemplified with his life and with all of his actions. So the miracle of the Christmas story is that that love, that message can be born and reborn into the world again and again. It is a love spoken in many tongues, through many faiths, all over the world, in the hearts of believers and non-believers, in all people of courage and goodwill. Each one of us can bring that love into the world. There is a star shining over each of us. It was a holy night, the night you were born. And so I invite you to step into the miracle of Christmas, that the humblest person can be part of the healing of the world, that each of us can shake the firmament with our love, that we can bring something new and vital and joyous and holy into the world. There is a star shining over each of us. May the radiance of your Spirit be like the light of that star. May it be the light of love shining in the night, singing like a choir of angels, blessing the world with innocence and hope. May it be so, and amen.